thank you for your valuable company. Welcome to the broadcast on this 25th day of September 2023. We are so glad that you've chosen us to inform you tonight. We've got quite a lot in store. Remember the presidential term limit proposal by Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei? Well, a lot of critics have come in place to say no to that particular proposal, while he himself has defended it and said, well, every Kenyan is allowed to their own opinion. So this and much more we've lined up for you tonight. Welcome to the broadcast. Here are the day's top stories.
Wewe wanasema Ruto aendelee kuongeza wa extend term limit kutoka miaka 5 ifike 7.
Reactions continue to pour in over Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei's proposition to increase presidential term limit to 7 years. Achieving the universal health coverage as President William Ruto launches medical kits and community health workers.
I, Ransom Mulele Ngonga, do solemnly affirm that I will well and truly serve the people and the Republic.
New Director of Public Prosecutions Ransom Mulele takes charge, promises to sweep corruption away. Well, welcome to the broadcast once again. Our SMS line is 23993. You watch us on Facebook and on YouTube on EBN TV. Well, EBN Prime Edition begins right now. The National Dialogue Committee on Monday continued to receive public views on the agenda of the ongoing dialogue between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party. Kenya Kwanza and Azimio inked a deal that defined the agenda of the dialogue. Well, in individual statements shared by co-chairs of the National Dialogue Committee, led by Kimani Ichung'wah, the Member of Parliament, and Kalonzo Musyoka, the two leaders said the pact marked the beginning of peaceful and constructive negotiations.
We are not talking about audit of the results of 2022. I don't know what you meant, but for feedback, that's what we meant.
The Council proposes the establishment of an independent and multi-sectoral task force to audit the electoral process to identify all the loopholes and weaknesses of the electoral process and elections in Kenya.
A boundary that has remained a historical injustice to the support community to date. And it is our belief that this boundary, which remains to be a chain that has made the support captive to date.
When you talk about minority and marginalization, even in paper, you do not be understood. If people want to take themselves down to the ground and see what the people are facing and how they are suffering, you will understand what it means to be a minority and marginalized.
I like your proposal that that election agents be catered for. I would want to encourage you to think a little wide, because that's where really corruption gets absolutely amplified.
To hear how then will IEBC, that is being appointed by political parties, how do you intend that IEBC to be independent when it is being appointed by a non-independent body?
Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei has defended his proposal to increase the term limit of a president, saying the holder of the office requires more time to deliver on projects and manifestos. The senator said this while appearing at the National Assembly, and the legislator addressed the media, stating that there is a myriad of proposals submitted and that all parties should be respected. This comes on the backdrop of a statement from the UDA party that has distanced itself from the senator's proposal, saying that that is not the party's position.
What I can tell you is that the party has stated its opposition, and it is correct, because I don't hold any position within the party. So the party has a way of communicating, and I'm just bringing an opinion. And that is why I was saying, let us not criminalize anybody's opinion. Everything, even 2010 Constitution, the beneficiaries were not Kibaki. The beneficiaries became others who came after 2013 when the Constitution was promulgated. So we are doing it for now and for posterity. So, and that is why, and then on the issue of campaigns, unless you are a stranger in Jerusalem, because as you and me have been in this country for some time, and I believe so, you have seen all shades of politics are happening daily. People want to even position themselves. Others wanasema bado niko na risasi ya sita. You know, everybody is saying something about 2027, and yet it's still very far. It is still 4 years. So what I'm just proposing is because people have a perception that 5 years is a short period. But if we focus and ensure that we have a term limit of 7 years, for example, somebody will settle down to do their job, and you can see others. So all others, I think let us leave it there. I don't need to answer. I know people who read Citizen Weekly or people who read their blogs might want to allow me, but let me answer the substance, because I think the reason media wanted me to hear speaking was to be able to share my opinion as a leader and as a citizen of Kenya. And
now, as the Senator Samson Cherargei on Friday proposed to have the presidential term limit increased from 5 to 7 years as submitted to the National Dialogue Committee among other proposals, well, according to the 2010 Constitution, a president can only serve for a term of 5 years, which is eligible for renewal. Cherargei's proposal, if approved, would call for a referendum. However, the proposal has attracted criticism from various quarters who term it as a ploy to keep the president in power. Well, our reporter Geoffrey Wanyoike was on the streets of Nairobi to listen into some of the residents' views. Watch.
Vile hao watu walisema wakiweka Biblia chini maneno itakuwa sawa. Waliweka Biblia, kila kitu ikabadilika. So maisha ni mbaya bwana. Vitu zimeisha, kila kitu zimepanda, mafuta, kila kitu imepanda. So hii maisha ya Ruto inatuumiza vibaya.
Nasema, do you support it or not?
We are not support it because life imepanda. Unajua life ingekuwa moderate, at least tungesupport. Hakuna haja tudanganyane. Kulingana na maisha ndio imetupeleka huko. Yeah.
Hapo labda niambie rais wetu Ruto ashughulike kuhusu hii mambo uchumi na mafuta juu. Hata tukimchagua hakusema vitu kama hiyo. Yeye alisema tupunguzia maisha ya hasara, lakini sasa tumefika hasara wafanyika sana na zaidi. Kama mafuta hatuna customer, na tumekaa hapa tumeng'edhi hapa. Kuna job, mafuta ndio iko juu. Ashughulikie namna hizi support mimi. Juu bado maisha venye iko saa hii iko tofauti na venye tunajua ama venye tulikuwa tumeahidiwa.
According to me, hiyo presidential hata unajua si wananchi tukikataa ama tukubali parliament ndio numbers ya parliament, hiyo opinion yetu hata counting hivyo sana. So lakini mi according to me naona isiongezewe. Imagine tumeteseka 1 year, so 7 years.
Kwa maneno ya term limit, mi sioni kama kuna ubaya wote. Kama mtu anapendwa endelee kuongoza, na kama apendwi watu wenyewe ndio watamuangusha chini. So term limit it doesn't make any difference. No term limit, see, that's a constitutional thing, so it doesn't matter if he's the president right now, but there'll also be other president from that. So it's not about Ruto or Raila or any other person. It's just about the Kenyans wanna prefer term limit iondolewe ni sawa, but kama iendelee na constitution vile iko at the moment, I don't see any problem.
Now to Western, where a section of the region leaders have opposed the Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei's proposal to increase the presidential term limit to 7 years. The leaders led by Bumula, Member of Parliament Jack Wamboka, and Matungu, Member of Parliament Oscar Nabulindo, on Sunday told off the senator, accusing him of planning to return the country to a dark era. Speaking at Mungore Primary School in Bumula constituency during the launch of the third phase of a 5 million shillings feeding program for Class 8 pupils, the Azimio leaders say they will shoot down any proposal aimed at changing the constitution to benefit a few individuals, especially on the presidential term limit.
Ako bado anaishi kwa kasumba ya Moi. Hajui maneno Moi alitufanyia sisi. Watu wanaumia, wewe wanasema Ruto aendelee kuongeza wa extend term limit kutoka 5 ifike 7. Wananchi mnakubali hiyo? Haijafika taarifa. Unajua Didmas huyu bishop wetu saa zingine nampata anakunywa chai na Cherargei. Nataka asikie, aenda mwambie. Wananchi mnakubali hiyo?
Wako na nia ya kuintroduce mswada kwa bunge ya kufanya ati president anaweza kuwa na limitless terms, akae mpaka maisha yake yote. Hatuwezi kurudi nyuma kwa katiba ya siku za Moi. Mtu ni miaka yako 5, unakuja unaomba ingine, wananchi wakikubali kukupatia ingine 5, that's over. Unaenda nyumbani. Kenya ni kubwa, lazima watu wengine pia wapate nafasi ya kuongoza nchi. Next month tuta introduce motion ya kurudisha fuel subsidy ili percentage ya fuel irudi 8% vile ilikuwa, na bei ya mafuta irudi chini. Kwa sababu vile bei ya mafuta iko sahihi, hatuwezi hiyo maisha haitatuweza. Tuko na shida kubwa sana. Lazima mafuta irudi chini ndio mwananchi apate nafuu.
Huyu Ruto, maneno ya mafuta, Ruto William mahali huko, rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, mimi naona msango ikikupata. Pelekee taarifa kabisa wanahabari. Mimi naona msango ikipata Ruto, kwa sababu wananchi wanaumia. Mtu hana pesa. Kama mtu hana pesa, ukimsukuma akifika kwa ukuta lazima atafanya nini? Atarudi.
Vijana wachache hasa kutoka jamii yetu wanatembea pia wanadharau wenzetu, na hawa ni vijana wachanga kutoka jamii ya Mlembe. Badala ya kumheshimu kama Wetangula, kumheshimu Musalia, au wanaenda kuwatusi. Hiyo tunasema vijana wetu wawe na heshima. Ule Malala anashinda akitembea anamtukana Wetangula, anamtukana Musalia, tunasema aheshimu viongozi wetu.
Now let's keep up with the head of state. President William Ruto on Monday flagged off 100,000 kits for community health promoters to county governments for deployment. This is part of the Universal Healthcare UHC program he is expected to launch during this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations on October 20th, where the government will deploy 103,000 health promoters across the country. Each promoter will be responsible for 100 households and equipped with basic medical equipment for household health screening. Speaking at Uhuru Park in Nairobi, Ruto said the kits will be provided by the national government through the Ministry of Health. Promoters will also get smartphones to make them reachable and to enable them to transmit and receive necessary information, instruction, and advice.
Hapa tumekutana kwa sababu kwa muda mrefu tumekuwa tukipanga afya ya kutibu, lakini saa hizi tunapanga afya ya kuzuia magonjwa. Na ndio sababu hiyo tumekutana hapa leo. This moment is a moment of a paradigm shift in the delivery of health in our nation. This program, I am told by the Ministry of Health, has been in their books, has been in their plans for the last 17 years. But I am very proud that today we are actualizing the dream and the aspirations of many Kenyans who have always wanted health delivered at the household level. Today, we are going to launch this program of community health promoters. We are launching a program that will see our community health promoters, number one, to have kits. Every health promoter in Kenya, the 100,000 of them, each one of them will be equipped by the government of Kenya with a kit that they can use for making sure that they can access every household in Kenya. And we have split every community health promoter with 100 households in every part of the Republic of Kenya.
Well, Renson Mulele Ingonga was on Monday sworn in as the Director of Public Prosecutions. The event was presided over by President William Ruto at State House in Nairobi. Mulele takes over from Nurdin Haji, who left the office of the DPP after he was picked by the president to head the National Intelligence Service as the Director General. The president picked Mulele from a list of 15 individuals interviewed for the position by the Public Service Commission. He is set to serve for an 8-year term. Ingonga is an advocate of the High Court and has been a Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecution in charge of the Northeastern region before his nomination by the president. He holds a Master of Law from the University of Nairobi and a postgraduate diploma from the Kenya School of Law. He also has a law degree from Moi University.
I, Ransom Mulele Ingonga, do solemnly affirm that I will well and truly serve the people and the Republic of Kenya.
The oath you have taken today before God and man places an extraordinary burden of responsibility on your very able shoulders. It is a solemn commitment to serve with fidelity, to pursue justice without fear or favor, and to uphold the rule of law in every decision that you will be making. As you begin your tenure, remember that you are not alone. You have a nation standing firmly behind you, supporting your every effort to ensure that the law is justly administered and that the rights of all are respected. May your tenure as the Director of Public Prosecution be marked by triumph of justice, and may you stand as an inspiring example of integrity and dedication to duty.
We stand ready to welcome you to the family of NCJ and to assure you that we will collaborate as partners and work with you to deliver on your mandate. We believe in a shared vision of a just, efficient, and effective justice system, and one that serves our citizens with the fairness and timeliness that they deserve.
Residing in Nairobi is expected to become more expensive as the county government plans to raise various charges. The finance bill of 2023 for Nairobi County includes proposals to raise rental rates from council-owned properties, increase parking fees in the central business district and surrounding areas, and impose higher fees for medical services at both level 4 and level 5 hospitals. Our reporter Victor Nzobeli has the details.
In the event that the proposal, which is set to undergo a period of public engagement starting on Monday, September 25, 2023, is approved, Nairobi residents can expect an adjustment in rental rates. Residents along Juja Road will see their monthly rent increase from the current 10,000 Kenyan shillings to 12,500 Kenyan shillings. Meanwhile, one-bedroom apartments in the new Pumwani area will experience a rent hike from 4,500 Kenyan shillings to 5,625 Kenyan shillings. Those residing in Shauri Moi's one-bedroom apartments will face a monthly increase from 3,300 Kenyan shillings to 4,125 Kenyan shillings. Additionally, Nairobians occupying double rooms with a kitchen in Embakasi will witness a rise of 400 Kenyan shillings, going from the current 1,600 Kenyan shillings to 2,000 Kenyan shillings, while residents of Uhuru Estate will see their monthly rent increase from 2,700 Kenyan shillings to 3,375 Kenyan shillings. A double room in Ziwani will also see an uptick in rent, rising from 1,200 shillings to 1,500 Kenyan shillings. The proposed bill also includes plans to raise parking fees and introduce a new daily market access fee for individuals parking in Zone 1 areas, which encompass the Central Business District and the upscale regions of the county. The parking fee will increase from 200 Kenyan shillings to 300 Kenyan shillings. Furthermore, the bill suggests an increase in fees for weddings held in residential and garden areas. Those hosting weddings in residential areas will be required to pay a noise permit fee of 20,000 Kenyan shillings, up from the current 2,200 Kenyan shillings, while those opting for garden venues will face a noise permit fee of 10,000 Kenyan shillings, which was previously 2,200 Kenyan shillings. Medical services across the county are also expected to see price adjustments. The bill proposes a fee of 600 Kenyan shillings for HIV screening and 25,000 Kenyan shillings for a 6-week family planning training program. However, it suggests reducing typhoid vaccine charges from 1,000 Kenyan shillings to 200 Kenyan shillings. In terms of internships, students from public institutions will enjoy free programs, while their counterparts from private institutions will be required to pay a fee of 3,000 Kenyan shillings. According to Wilson Gakuya, the Chief Officer of Revenue Collection for the county, these revenue changes are projected to boost Nairobi County's revenue by 19.9 billion Kenyan shillings.
We have not been enforcing any provisions of the finance bill. They're just mere proposal, and it's expected that out of these proposals, we're engaging the community, we're engaging all the Nairobians so that we can get their inputs.
Nevertheless, small traders, who constitute a significant portion of the county's business community, will face an increase in their daily market access fee, rising from 30 shillings to 50 shillings. County officials acknowledge that this adjustment will be a focal point during the public participation process. The public participation period is scheduled to conclude next Wednesday, with the bill then set to be deliberated upon and voted on by the County Assembly. Victor Enzobeli for EBN TV, Nairobi.
Well, thank you, Enzobeli, for that report. Indeed, quite tough times ahead for Nairobi residents as they seek to raise revenue, or at least the county government seeks to raise revenue within this financial year. Now, the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin III held a meeting with his Kenyan counterpart, Aden Duale, in Nairobi on Monday, where he announced U.S. support for Kenya's mission to Haiti. Kenya has committed to deploying a police contingent to aid in restoring security in Haiti. Last month, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that addressing the security situation in Haiti requires a range of coercive law enforcement measures, including the active use of force in targeted police operations against heavily armed gangs in the island nation. Within the education sector, the Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu has unveiled a new grading structure that will be implemented in the 2023 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education. In the new grading system, only 2 mandatory subjects, including mathematics and 1 language, either English, Kiswahili, or Kenyan Sign Language, will be used to compute the mean grade. Previously, there were 5 mandatory subjects across 3 cluster groups of mathematics, English, Kiswahili, 2 sciences, and 1 humanity. The previous system was perceived to disadvantage some learners whose best performing subject was not considered, if not within the clusters, as has been the case since the inception of the 844 education system. Moreover, to ensure the integrity of the examination process, the Kenya National Examination Council (NEC) is implementing stringent security measures for the 2023 national examinations. September is a significant month as it observes World Blood Cancer Awareness Month, shining a spotlight on conditions such as leukemia, myeloma, and lymphoma. Recent studies have indicated that leukemia affects a larger population compared to other blood cancers. Nevertheless, encouraging breakthroughs in research have paved the way for the development of novel interventions tailored to alleviate the challenges faced by leukemia patients on their medical journeys.
Bedridden, and then I used a wheelchair for a whole year. It was really hard for me to learn how to walk again. I was at the same time I was also on Pampers because I had really lost a lot of weight. I couldn't walk, and then when I started walking, I was staggering a lot.
Diagnosed in 2021
and it was in the morning when I felt a sharp pain in my stomach, which is later what I was told was splenomegaly. And then I was seen in a local hospital just like by a normal general practitioner, and who was very quick to refer me on the same day. And on the same day I was referred to a hemato-oncologist who I gave a call and saw on the same day.
Support of Max Foundation and Novartis, we have seen patients here who have visited us today who have been on treatment for 15 years and is available in Nairobi Hospital, which is a premier treating facility. It has now been devolved. It is also in Kenyatta National Hospital, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital in Kisumu, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret, Nakuru PGH Hospital, and the Coast General Hospital in Mombasa.
I came in, they were called community health volunteers. And you know, a volunteer can down their tools whenever they want. Community health workers, however, have a contractual obligation to us, and we make sure that they are remunerated very well so that they don't get tempted to, after training and so on, to go off. And I think that is very important.
Because if you have universal health coverage, then one thing you are going to make screening, early detection, early diagnosis, treatment available and affordable. It has to be accessible, it has to be affordable, yes, and it has to be effective. It has to be quality.
For a week, I used to pay 25,000 shillings. So I feel maybe without this initiative and this foundation, maybe you could have sold stuff from my family, and it could have really drained us. And who knows, maybe I wouldn't even be here.
Leaders of areas that grow maize have asked the Ministry of Agriculture to open government warehouses and announce the price of maize so that farmers can start selling corn before their crops are destroyed by the heavy rain that continues to fall. The leaders say fertilizer subsidy from the government has improved the yield, but now they fear that farmers may suffer losses if emergency measures are not taken to grow their maize. In addition, they have opposed the purchase of maize from foreign countries before farmers sell the maize they have harvested.
Wengi wanauza mahindi kwa kufikiria maybe bei ya mahindi itaendelea kwenda chini mpaka 2,000 mpaka 1,000. I want to challenge and request the Ministry of Agriculture to announce the price of maize now, 90 baht, so that watu wasiendelee kuuza mahindi saa hizi.
Kwa hasla ambaye yako mashinani, mama mboga na kila mtu. Saa hizi kuna hasla fund. Saa hizi pesa zinafika kwa wanafunzi wa shule. Saa hizi tunasema mahindi isiagizwe hata kidogo.
No more importation of maize until the current grain is harvested and is put to the market at a good price that is going to benefit mkulima. Hiyo ni msimamo wetu kama viongozi wa sehemu hii, hiyo ndio siasa yetu ya uchumi ya maendeleo sehemu.
In the world of sports, the World Kickboxing Federation of Kenya and the Kenya Extreme Combat Sports Federation President Japheth Adongo, popularly known as Takid Master, officially launched the Combat Sports Federation in Nakuru on Saturday. The federation is an umbrella of the World Kickboxing that includes mixed martial arts and is meant to boost the local talent. This is the second event to be held in Nakuru, even as the President Takid Master continues to call for support for all stakeholders across the country to support the young athletes.
Hao ni warembo wetu na tunafaa kuwapeleka Uganda wakakamue watu huko. Tena tulete kikombe yenyewe tupatie Madam Josephine. Hiyo ndio kazi yetu. Kazi yetu ni kuleta vikombe.
Kenya's Harambee Starlets are set to host Cameroon for a return leg match on Tuesday, which is tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the Kasarani Stadium for the qualifiers of Women African Cup of Nations. The Starlets lost 1-0 in the first leg in Douala, Cameroon on Friday night last week, and will be hoping to turn around the results. The stakes are high as the winner of this qualifier will go on to face the winner of another exciting showdown between Botswana and Gabon. Gates at Kasarani Stadium will be open from 12 p.m. and the entry is absolutely free.
Iko high kwa camp, spirits ziko high kwa camp. Wasichana walijisukuma vizuri. Cameroon uliona tulipata very slim lose, ni kitu tunaweza tukarecover. Tunaweza waomba waje na waje kwa wingi. Starlets imekuwa ikipata a lot of positive vibes from the fans. Fans wamekuwa kitokea, Kenyans believe in us. Wakija stadium kuona wajaze stadium, watakuwa wamecheza role kubwa sana. Tunaomba waweze kuomba maruhusa kutoka makazini. It's not a good day, ni weekday, but watu wakiweza kupata ruhusa waje, itakuwa nzuri sana kwetu kama timu.
So folks, listen, kwa lugha ya mtaa huwa tunasema mapema ndio best, right? So mapema ndio best tomorrow as Harambee Starlets will be facing Cameroon. The match will start at exactly 3 p.m. Gates will be open from 12 p.m. And guess this, the match will be absolutely free. The entry will be absolutely free. So what excuse do you have to miss? So if you can step away from work and head over there to support our ladies, well, that will be absolutely fantastic. So I'll be at Kasarani Stadium for sure, and I hope to see you there as well. So thank you so much for keeping me company. That is all we had for you this evening. Do join Samia Dika tomorrow at 7 a.m. on Morning Live, an engaging conversation that will be had tomorrow. You definitely also should not miss that. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourselves a stress-free night.